Welcome back to this week's episode of Fates Apart, our bi-weekly actual play game that will be hosted on Bardicdice's YouTube and Spotify every other Thursday at 7:30 CST. Join us this week as our characters continue to get to know each other, having to enjoy the lavishness of their airship ride. But this is D&D. We'll see how long the calm continues. Enjoy. Our camera returns back to our illustrious gnomish wizard's tower, a library filled with dusty tomes and candlelit on a rainy orange day outside, as the water genasi puts out the book, now already started with a few scribbles from a first chapter. She turns the page as the gnome, "Oh, sorry, got a little held up there by a convention. Don't worry about it, it's fine." She's like, "You had to go to the bathroom, didn't you?" "Oh, shush, just a child, come on now." And jumps up on the seat and gets ready. "Oh, I'm really excited about these four, actually." And the diamond begins to twirl already. "Oh my gosh, I'm later than I thought." And rolls up his sleeves, grabbing the feather-tipped pen. And as soon as it hits the fresh page, his eyes go white again, as Water Genasi Girl just sighs a little bit, goes to grab her drink and sits down as she listens to the story of the Fates Apart crew. "From my vantage point within the scrying crystal, I witnessed the convergence of four disparate souls, drawn together by enigmatic inventations. Zinni and Osiric, products of Arcana Major's Gutter District Orphanage, exuded resilience, and shadows alike. Nubia, stepping into newfound responsibilities in Oasis City, mandated determination. Erison, finding solace in wizarding schools under his grandfather's guidance, excluded, I don't like this word anymore, intellectual curiosity. Each received a similar summons, beckoning them aboard an airship, brand new and supposedly indestructible, bound for Tropica and Sina Una. As they convened, a shared question hung in the air. Why had fate intertwined their paths once more? In this moment of tentative introductions, the stage was set for a journey brimming with mystery, adventure, and the promise of revelation." As you all made your way through the various docks aboard this ship and met a few interesting people along the way, noticing even some more curious people in your peripherals. However, making it aboard the ship, one in particular, a Dr. Solde, the archaeologist in the Nubian coast, grabbed your attention, as well as just each other's presence, as you haven't seen each other in 15 years, since the day of the Great Reckoning. The ship is yours. I'm trying to remember, did we leave it on a rest, or was it just after that conversation?
It's just after the conversation, we were looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
As we were taking off.
Right. The ship's rumbling below you, kind of heading up. It's a beautiful kind of shifting into the next day as you feel the tiredness coming upon you of the day, but the excitement of new adventure and new possibilities. What do you wish to do? There's more crew standing about. There's most of the VIP kind of on this upper deck with the various fireworks and magical things that have been faded off as the city kind of extends past underneath the cloud. You guys can now see the from where you are, you see about 3 or 4 celestial almost moons in the sky that are different colors. The main 2 above you, giving the sky that different color, the orange and the blues. But it does seem that most of the ongoing passengers have started to make their way back to their rooms to kind of get settled in. There is a crew still out there with serving people. The first mate is in there with the captain. Looks like they're having a bit of a crew meeting. Dr. Solde is looks like she's heading off as well. But there's that illustrious booming man with the big gut and the blades who are out there kind of like signing autographs and kind of being a little obnoxious. Why don't everyone give me a perception check?
Not good.
Not good either. 3. Rolling that one.
I was going to say, you're the perceptive one.
13.
We rely on you.
Got 13.
23.
23. All right. How about you, Zinnia?
Oh, I said 8.
Oh, 8? Okay.
Yeah. As if I fell above a 10.
I know. It's continuing. Osiric, Zinnia, your focus is still among the stars and just this overwhelming, like, you're still getting adjusted to leaving the city in this sort of manner. This is kind of above your purview of what you've ever done before. Arsene, you're still kind of looking around at kind of the crowd and kind of taking them in, and you can see again the captain Stormwind. He's in there kind of discussing various things with his navigator, and they are taking a look at some of the paths and maps of this area, and they do look a little concerned. Dr. Solde has gone in with them at one point, but you do see as well as that half orc with the booming gut, a dwarf that looks like he's more of a maintenance crew member who's working on a few things on the ship, as well as an Eladrin elf and a drow that are some of the last VIPs discussing things on the ship, kind of sharing some sort of champagne with like twirling, kind of twisting purple sparkles within the drink. Nubia, as you kind of turn and look around, you do notice there is a more paler figure that is kind of wearing a bit of a hood and shawl, almost like a nice elegant night dress that's dragging, and kind of holding a champagne glass. And you almost get the sense that they're looking around as well for a second, and then ducks down a hallway midway. Not necessarily going to the stairs downstairs, but some sort of doorway about midway down the ship. Which, actually, as we're talking, it is now nighttime on the ship. So let me go ahead and change that. So there is no rain tonight. So just change that to wind. All right. So what do you guys do?
I think Osric is still just a little bit starstruck from his conversation with the archaeologist. So he's going to probably take the lead from whoever decides to do what they want to do first.
I'd say Zinnia is probably a little paranoid based on what Osric did, and she's still a little upset with him for that. And then, like, pulling the card. And then she's also just kind of, like, following Nubia, because Nubia seems to, like, be the celebrity around here. So if Nubia walks in a way, she's trying to mimic that. If Nubia drinks a certain thing, she's trying to drink that kind of thing, just to try and fit in as best as she can. Because this is all, like, way above her pay grade. So she's just, like, don't stick out, don't like cause ripples, all that kind of stuff. But she also probably would be excitedly like looking out, like we're on an airship, like this is exciting, like I've never been on one of these, like wow, we're so far up above the world, I could like die if a wind comes along too hard, right? Like that kind of stuff. So but she's trying not to show too much of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to look like a tourist.
Well, do you want to stay out here and watch the beautiful stars, or do we need some food? Where's everyone standing at?
Did we not have food earlier?
I mean, food's always a wonderful time to eat. When is it not a good time to eat?
He does have a point there.
Your stomach growls a little bit as it really was more just hors d'oeuvres that you had before. Especially
You could do with a full meal.
none of you
myself.
guys stayed at the table long enough to really eat much. You took a drink
True.
and then got your
Yeah, we pretty much just like
Orchard's
drank
full.
on an empty stomach and just like kept going. Deer sounds good.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm here for the fun of it. So I'm going to enjoy some of the fun, but Nubia, and we do know that you are here on your little adventure and trek and whatnot. Is there anything you need to get done, or are you just waiting at this point in time?
Is there anything I need to do specifically, Mike?
I mean, that's up to you. You're on a pilgrimage, girl.
Not at the moment.
All right, then. Food sounds great, then.
Plus, you don't
I'm
want
going to
to.
head off in the direction of where I know the food's at.
Perfect. You kind of follow a few of the members who you could overhear them. I'm actually a bit hungry. And a few of the staff, right this way. If you go ahead and down the stairs to the left, there's the cafeteria, which is open 24/7 for anyone of different types of food. We also understand, being from Arcana Major, your sleep cycles are very different as well. So you can have blackout windows in your room, and entertainment is 24/7 as well. So please oblige by your own comforts. Do not need to think you need to change for our behalfs. And you kind of see all of them. It's like rehearsed, like cruise talk. Like, this is a resort on, steroids in there. So
This is just giving me Disney PTSD.
Yeah.
have a magical time.
Oh god.
A magical day.
But you follow down, and it's almost like every pathway there's like some sort of waiter or crew member that's kind of help steering. How can I help you today? Or how can I help direct you? And they easily able to guide you to this really luxurious, almost like ballroom setting cafeteria. Think like the Titanic, where it's just kind of very well adorned, like wooden clocks and beautiful satin sheets on the things. And there's a chef here, and a little bit of a crew. There's a slight, I wouldn't quite say buffet level. There's like definitely plates of some food that you can grab, but also just like things you can order as well. So at your own comfort, you guys could definitely order what you wished and able to find kind of a private area. At the moment, there's not too many people down here. But I'd say anyone over like a 10 passive perception as you're even looking around, if you wanted, could see there is just groups of little families and kind of just people sitting there. Maybe like, kind of one person looks like they're just digging down before sleep because no one else wanted to. But the few people that grab your attention, one, it does look like the elf and the Eladrin seem to walk down. Those are the ones that you followed. The Eladrin is now just taking off their kind of shawl, kind of hiding their face. And you can see just a beautiful vision of like beauty flowing from her. She has silver hair, luminous skin, and piercing green eyes that almost seem to like sparkle like emeralds. But as she's sitting down, you get the sense that she's more of a handmaiden, or like an attendant to this drow who looks quite young, with white hair, and is almost sitting quietly and doesn't really seem to be... She just seems very internalized. As well as you can see a tiefling kind of dressed very ostentatiously, with a little bit of like gold hanging from his horns, kind of sitting off in the corner. Looks like he's like sitting playing blackjack at a table, or some sort of version of blackjack. Kind kind of playing cards, and nobody else? All right. No, it's all right. We have plenty of time. Don't worry. It's just the first night. Never want to play with me. It just like, slides the cards in. But yeah, you guys are able to grab some food and grab a seat and have some privacy while you're kind of able to see your eyes on everyone else as well. But you do not see Dealey, the girl that you saw with the paler skin, is not in this room. She seemed to have gone through a different way.
Oh, I thought that's who you were describing. Oh, okay.
Two different people. So the one you saw was a little bit paler skin. You couldn't see their hair. As think of like almost, I want to say how I have Asterian dress, but like a little bit roguish, kind of a hood that's covering most of their skin. But you can see paler skin and a bit of, I'd say like a silver motif on the upper part of their chest plate. But they have like elegant shawls. So it's almost like roguish leather mixed with like a very elegant dress. So it doesn't stand out too much, but you were able to catch the attention. This is more an Eladrin and a Drow. And I'd say even Nubia, with your background, you almost get a sense of a similar sort of like responsibility vibe with them, or like title.
Oh, okay.
Like not necessarily, they're not Nubian by any means, but you
Right.
kind of pick up on like, oh, they're sitting with, like, that's not a friend they're sitting with, that's someone that's attending to them. And you kind of pick up on that vibe just with your background. So what do you guys do? The table's yours. You have food, which
What do you think the lunch specials or dinner special? I guess, do you think they run like all day specials here? How do you think they kind of handle this? They said 24/7. That's kind of a unique way of going about food.
It's a little strange. I mean, at the very least, hopefully it'll give us some variety. We could have night breakfast every once in a while.
That's true. I mean, I have had a lot of breakfasts during weird hours. You know, when you're in
It's
the
the best
school,
time.
you kind of just eat when you can eat.
Absolutely fair.
They
For
just-
myself, I could go for some fish, honestly. It's been a while.
as you step forward,
Yeah.
a bit of a commanding figure. You see he's like a hobgoblin sort of feel, but he's like very refined and very well dressed with like the chef's hat. You see Alaric among his name tag. And he has like a commanding presence, almost like everyone's saying, "Yes, chef!" as he's walking up, walking around. And his weathered face kind of bears the marks of countless hours in the heat of the kitchen. But as you see everywhere, everyone's pristine looking and set and organized. But as you go up, there is a bit of a magical sort of, what is it called? A chalkboard that has like daily specials on it. And you can see cloud skewered shish kebabs, skyborn seafood tower, Etherean surf and turf, the celestial citrus salad, nimbus nectarine glazed duck breast, and starlight stuffed mushrooms. And then at the bottom, it just says, or ask what you want, because I can make it.
Probably magic. It's how they're able to keep, the 24/7 thing going.
It's a handy use of Arcana, I suppose.
Well, I mean, not starving's a great thing.
He said his name was Alaric.
Alaric. Alaric.
Okay.
I, for one, feel that the duck breast and stuffed mushrooms particularly sound good right now.
Fair enough. I'm going to be going with the surf and turf. Question. Do we have to pay for this?
You don't
Or is
see,
it included on our ticket?
you don't see any sort of price point, but you're not
Sick.
quite sure either. I mean, you haven't been told either way.
Cool. I'm going to be bankrupt
Would
in
you-
like a minute.
Would you like it if I inquired? I mean,
Oh, honestly, I can handle my own finances for it. I don't want to put you out. I know it doesn't seem like you enjoy some of the special treatment, which I appreciate about you.
Yeah, food's food as well. I'd imagine that they would include it, though.
I would hope so.
I just
We'll
realized.
see.
Did I say Eladrin earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think it's because there's a lot of Eladrins going on. ASMR is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Got
The
it.
person is
Oh,
ASMR.
okay.
They have a very like celestial looking eyes. Sorry, I was like thinking in my head ASMR and said Eladrin.
Is the ASMR, is that the one that Nubia saw? Is that the one you're talking about?
The one that's
The
in the room
handmaiden?
with you now, that's like the handmaiden, or not the handmaiden.
With the silver hair?
Yeah, the one with the drow?
Oh my gosh, I got those totally mixed up. The Drow's the handmaiden. The ASMR is
Oh,
the girl that
Got it.
has similar like responsibility vibes with Nubia. I know. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
You're good.
Let's reset.
You're good.
Let's reset. My apologies. I don't know why. I think I was looking at Eladrin on the screen and it just kind of blurted out. I'm tired as well. My apologies. So there's a Drow handmaiden, ASMR,
Okay.
younger girl, beautiful hair and flowing, luminous kind of skin, but seems very quiet and introverted. There's the tiefling. There's a hobgoblin chef. Then there's kind of
Yeah.
just kids and family running around.
gotcha.
Yeah, we're good.
My
We're good.
apologies. And you don't know what race the person you saw is, Nubia. They just have
Right.
She's
pale
got a
skin.
cloak.
Maybe she's a Ladrin.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a Eladrin. Maybe she's the Eladrin. We'll see.
Either way, if you would like to mention something, 3 is always better, but I never feel pressured to, for my sake, anyways.
I mean, it's just good to know as well for
That's true.
anyone. So I imagine that we don't. But
You guys
is
kinda-
there a waiter that we can kind of like?
I was just about to say, you guys hear a voice, and at first you're not quite sure where it comes from, but how can I help you today? We are waiting to help you, whatever you need. And you look around and you're like, where did this voice come from? And just peeping above the counter is like some eyes and a halfling with kind of
Right.
sous chef thing. What can we do for you? The Chef Alaric is waiting to make magic for you.
Well,
It's got,
the
like,
duck and the
that.
stuffed mushrooms sound particularly magical right now, so I will definitely take
What
those
a
ones.
great choice, my friend. Let me write that down, of course. He puts it down, and you just hear it like disappears on the page, and then and somehow some sort of magic probably appears in orders, and you just hear, like mushrooms served up in 3. Yes, chef. Kind of in the back.
Do you have any particular drink that you would recommend to go with that?
I would say the 20-year wine from the Nubian coast would be well served, yes?
Well, I do appreciate a good Nubian Coast wine, so I will go ahead and take a little
I
bit
will
of
have
that.
an attendant bring it out for you as soon as it has a moment to breathe.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
But of course. Now, whatever can we do for you?
I'm gonna look at the menu and see whatever seems the cheapest, just in case, and I'm gonna order the salad.
Ah, yes. The most exquisite celestial citrus salad. We have brought the
Do I-
elements from across the lands.
Does it seem like she is purposely trying to buy the cheapest thing?
No, she probably also really likes salad.
Okay. I'm just curious if I'd be able to insight that or not.
It like in amongst the things, like maybe you'd be like, oh, she's not getting the duck versus the salad's a little cheaper, but she probably would also get like the mushrooms or the whatever. So she's definitely a you can make friends with salad person. And so she will eat salad.
I enjoy a good salad from time to time, so I get it.
Is there anybody wishing to try and press your luck to see what we can create? You see, I am a creation bard. We can make anything from anywhere.
I could be interested in that.
To test my powers, my friend, what do you want? What is your cravings, desire? It almost seems like this excites him to be like, push me. I want to find my test of the limits of what I can do.
What have I done? Right. I would love to have some braised pelicans stuffed with swordfish tartare.
Tartare, yes.
On a bed of rice fluffed over 24 hours.
Oh, a good time, all right, my friend.
With a beautiful grape sauce.
Grape sauce.
Yes.
All right. A vinaigrette, do you want a more thick silhouette, or do you want it? Do you want something maybe pared down? Maybe what is Michael does not know the word when you heat it down and take the elements.
Reduction?
From it. Reduction. Yes. Yeah. Why did I forget the reduction? It's been a long day.
I would love that. That would be absolutely lovely.
All right. I'm going to blow your mind hole.
Of course.
And you just hear him. He starts doing his magic. The pelican from the ghosts of the forest Sina Una. Yes. And the grapes plucked from the mountains on the Medusan coast. Yes. And he goes off real quick and he starts writing all this down. And you just see him like weaving this magic, and then boom, this like box appears of like all these ingredients. And he goes, special order up for me, friend, the tiefling. And he just kind of pushes it forward, and they're like, yes, chef. Yes, still got it. And he'll come back and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. You must be VIPs. My apology. I did not see. Do you have your invitations with yours? And he like glances over some magic, and you can see like just in the corner there's a few little it glows on yours, Nubia, but none of the other threes. And he goes, my apologies. Are they with you? Yes? In your party?
Yes. Yes.
Well, then everything is paid for, my friend, so you are all good.
All right. Thank you.
Well, if that's the case as well, can I get myself a dessert on that menu item?
Dessert sounds lovely.
I would personally recommend the Moonlit Mousse Trio, yes.
That sounds good, but can I give that in more of a bavois?
Bavois, my friend, you know what you're talking about. You should join our crew, yes?
Maybe in the future. I still only dabble.
That is fair. Milady, what can we make for you?
I mean, there's a very extensive menu. The mushrooms sounded good, as well as the cloud viewers. What was on that?
If I might, you look like a carbonara lady. I have a galactic nosh carbonara that no one has tried yet. It is magical.
Sure.
Unless you want the shish kebabs, of course. Whatever your cravings desire.
I'll try that. I'd love to.
Perfect.
We can always get the both and split some of it.
This is a pillowy gnocchi tossed in a creamy carbonara sauce with crispy pancetta, sweet peas, and grated Parmesan cheese, finished with a sprinkle of freshly ground black pepper. It's beautiful.
Okay, that actually does sound
I
good.
know, right? I've been looking at it for 10 minutes, and I was like, this looks fantastic. I cannot eat while I am on until I know everybody is satisfied. You can see, like, you can hear, like, my stomach for a second. They're like, please, I need you to eat.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Of course. My friends, please be seated. We will bring it out here shortly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ozark's just gonna look over to Zinnia and be like, I don't know what I ordered. I don't know if it's going to be edible. I am very concerned right now.
Well, that's on you. You had the opportunity.
He says the one of the challenge, so I just threw out random things.
Oh, Atlanta.
I think you'll be fine, Osric. If he doesn't have the ability, I think he's gonna be delicious. If not, think we have enough between all of the other things we ordered. We can split it up.
It's true. You
That's
can share
very
my
true.
salad.
Can you eat pelican? I will find out.
It's a bird.
Animals
It's a
eat pelican.
bird, I suppose.
I'm not used to eating this much this late. I mean, there's like dietary restrictions, particular meal times. So, this is fun.
I mean, you're on your own at the moment, Nubia. Enjoy
Make your own rules.
True. I'm used to constantly drinking. I mean, in the desert, right? Not alcohol drink constantly. I mean, like water.
For sure.
Yeah, the alcohol actually dehydrates you over time. It makes it really bad. You want to be careful with that when you're in the deserts. I knew what you were talking about, Nubia.
It is good to have structure as well, but it's fun to let loose every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Zinnia's looking at the table, and I assume this is a fancy establishment, so there's all the forks and knives and spoons and stuff. And she's like, as you guys are talking about how, like, you know, having structure is good and this and that, she's like internally panicking over which fork do I use, sort of thing. And she's like, really, like, Nubia didn't order the same thing as me, so I can't copy her on this. This is just her internalizing, like, her, like, paranoia and stuff, but she's just like laughing with whatever they're saying.
Osric gonna pull out the chair for Zinnia
Oh, thanks.
before he sings.
I'll pull it out for Nubia.
Have we not been sitting this entire time?
Yeah, I thought we were sitting the whole time.
Let me
I
take
thought-
it. Why are you bringing me
No, you guys,
Thank you.
you guys have gone up
Retcon.
to the chef to kind of make your orders, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, we went up and got orders. and came back.
Oh,
yeah, they don't do
Oh,
orders at the
weird.
Oscar just
table.
pulls the chair.
Sit down now.
You're on the floor.
Oh god.
Oh goodness.
But pretty quickly, it doesn't take long. And one thing I do want to mention, as you're sitting down, there's a bit of a nameplate that's blank, and as you sit down, your names all begin to appear on these like little nameplates, but only visible to the one that has the name on it. Zinnia, you almost get a sense as you're trying to like act cool. The sign says, "I got you." And it like starts labeling, which like shows like all the silverware, and then shows you like what they're for. And it almost like for all four of you, it's almost like an insight magic where like whatever you're thinking and you don't know how to ask for something, and it like almost helps you. It's like an 8-ball of like aid of like something here to like help make sure everyone's comfortable and isn't like scared to ask something. It's like a private way of like answering that. So it's almost
that's
like
so
half
smart.
reading your mind doing it.
Huh. Osric kind of wants to test this. He's gonna think, how do I get my shadow back?
And it says, I'm only good at airship things. Sorry, you're going to have to figure that one out on your own.
So he's like, worth a try.
You dummy.
You dummy.
I'm not real. I'm just
It's like,
magic.
that's on you.
But it's about this time as the chef himself walks out, kind of with various plates as well as a few waiters. And the sous chef comes out. He goes, "Welcome aboard, my friends, dear travelers, to our wondrous airstrip flight, where dreams take flight and stars ignite to realms of day and night. We bid you join a grand feast where magic fills the air, a banquet fit for royalty beyond the conveyor." And he kind of takes Nubia's hand and kisses it for a second. Be our guest, be our guest on this voyage of delight.
Get-
In these skies we'll memorize with wonder shining bright to test. And then he just goes on to sing this whole thing. We'll serve you
boy.
dishes from afar with flavors to enthrall. Soaring high above the clouds will dazzle one and for all. And just kind of continues on. And it's a little bit of a show and stuff
Amazing.
as they're all putting the stuff down. And they go,
Arsen's definitely clapping in tune.
This is magical.
And of course, if anything you need, speak it into your nameplate aid, and we'll be sure to acquiesce to anything you need.
We get water for the table.
He looks shocked as he looks around. How can I forget the single liquid of life at the
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I
It's
have
okay.
failed you, my friends.
No.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
And he just takes his finger and
sorry.
fills like the jar that's empty. I will do better.
You're doing just great. You're
I think we can
fine.
get a slice of like lemon or lime in there too. That actually sounds very nice.
It just
I think
snaps.
carbonated.
Zinnia
Just
was
all in there.
mortified when that question was asked. She's
you
like,
so
no.
Yes, if you want more of a carbonated water, when you pour it in your glass, you just ask for carbonated. It'll fizz up right for you.
Have you ever had it with some cucumber in it? That actually helps.
I was about to say
We had a
cucumber.
little cucumber in there
prickly
as well while we're
pear.
at this.
Never had
Strawberry.
cucumber and lime and lemon together, but if you wish, yes.
Well, maybe what we do is we have two different options.
Right. And
We can do like a cucumber strawberry.
go
and
get
a
the
lime.
cucumber strawberry lime water, please. And I'll go on and run that back.
When you have
of
to
course.
drink water every day, you try to find ways to spice it up a little.
It gets very, very boring very quickly.
But of course, we will leave you be. And when you guys look at your food, this is like exquisitely placed, beautifully, meticulously like art on a page. But Osric,
Oh
you
boy.
look down, and it's the most beautiful meal you have ever seen. The pelican sits upon a bed like a nest of rice that's listed down, and almost like the greenery, making it seem like a nest that's made. And the grapes sit as like eggs within the mother's nest there, with a reduction that slides among the rest, almost looking like a river that falls to a waterfall, with a little bit of butter that seems to act as the frost of it all. And he goes, I must know, please. Will you take a bite in front of me?
Of course, I would be honored. And Osric will pick up the correct utensils. He's been schooled in this sort of thing, so and then just daintily cut a little bit of a piece of everything. Kind of get it all on the fork there, and take a nice bite. How's it taste?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. He's gonna look at him and just be like, "Sir, if I could hire you on as my personal chef for life, I would absolutely do so. This is magical."
You see one tear. You have made my night complete. Thank you. I cannot
Of course.
rest. I dream of this moment.
Please do, but eat first.
Oh, yes, of course. I made a duplicate of this. I'm so excited. And he goes off and kind of like skips and like grabs, like he puts his like feet together for a second.
Clicks the heels.
Hobgoblin it just goes back. He goes, all right, Night Crow, you shut up. And they all start cleaning up and like getting ready for like the next people coming in.
That was quite beautiful and sweet.
He's strangely very nice. I like him.
And you did notice that this whole like show and dance wasn't just for you. They also were like bringing food to the other people around. So everyone is sitting there eating as well.
Wow. Let's enjoy the smorgasbord while it's here.
Of course, let's dig in.
But don't overeat, because that's when you can't sleep very well.
Oh, I'm totally overeating.
Have a few more sips of wine, it'll offset it.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else wants to do stuff, but when we're done, Osric would like to go over and talk to the guy who's playing cards.
Sure. Do you guys wish to do
Tiefling to
RP,
tiefling.
any catch up before that, or was it just kind of like a quiet, just simple dinner?
I mean,
Just-
oh, sorry, go.
No.
Okay, I was gonna say Zinnia is one of those people that like, if the food's good, she's not talking because she's too busy shoving her. Like the conversation
Yeah.
dies because she's so into her food. And then like, if anyone asks her anything, she'll be like, "Oh yeah," like talking all that kind of stuff. But she's probably like, "Wow, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had in my life. Like this is so," and like she's just looking around like, "Wow, they're making some crazy meal over there that's on fire. Like that's nuts." Like, but yeah, she'll talk if anyone wants to talk for a bit. And if not, I will go to the tiefling.
This is quite tasty. What have you all been doing for this bit of time? I know we've kind of talked a little bit about it. I mean, I've mostly been in school. Once I got old enough to be sent there.
How is school?
What sort of schooling as well?
The magic variety. Surrounded by people who like, figuring out how to work with dead things, and it's interesting. That's mostly because that's what my grandfather was doing patronage for, was for that specific group, and so that's where I got put in. I think a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, he's clearly from this other section of the school, but I'm the odd one out. I think that's been a normal thing for me in my life for a while now, though.
Really? You seem to get along with everyone.
I mean, when you grow up with everybody who's dour and down, and you're the one who's trying to smile, it's very different. But
That's
I will
true.
say, the three of you definitely helped open my eyes to how great life can be and what a smile can do for you. It takes a bit.
No.
What you're saying is we made you different?
Definitely
We made you
was a
stick
life-changing
out?
moment.
Oh, okay.
You didn't make
Well,
me do anything, but
Oh.
our adventures together definitely left an impact.
Was it for the worse? Because now that you're sticking out amongst the group because you smile a lot, like that seems like a bad thing.
A bad?
You think it's a bad thing that I smile?
No, I think your smile's wonderful. Your teeth are perfect, but I think if it made it awkward for you in school, then I'm sorry about that.
Oh no. Au contraire, my friend. Just because others choose not to smile does not change the fact that I choose to smile. The world can be harsh, but if we don't live it, what's the point?
True. Okay.
Now, I apologize if you thought that I was saying that, oh, life was so hard for me. I mean, there's always been challenges in life, and had to deal with those just like anybody else, but it was understanding that there's joys in life beyond just the duty I had to always do. It's important for me to make sure I was myself. I figured out who that was. So, though it has been a while, longer than I probably wish it had been, I find it a little miracle that we're here together again. I'm grateful to
Crazy
have you.
random happenstance.
Who knows? Fate is weird sometimes.
I was about to say fate. Or destiny, or yeah, just crazy coincidence.
I am always a fan of sheer dumb luck. That seems to work out. But I am very happy to see you all again.
Yeah.
You guys are all looking fabulous, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I did my hair today.
Thank you.
It looks great. I can tell you've been working out, so great job there. Osric, you look as sharp as ever.
I have not been working out.
You
I avoid it at all costs.
you definitely
so skinny.
Grew very tall.
Yeah, I had no control over that one.
And Nubia, you clearly are the desert flower that everybody always thought you were going to be.
Thank you. And now you're very colorful.
Well, the monochromes were very boring.
Look at Osric.
White hair. You were white hair pals with Osric.
Well, there's a very different thing.
I know your family.
Osric's monochromes are very different than my family's monochromes. For one thing, take a look at those beautiful eyes he's got. And the amazing horns he has.
You know, I think I need more aerosol in my life. My head is getting too large to fit into the room.
I mean, you might need to go outside so that way you can let the breeze kind of take you.
How about yourself, Zinnia? You have become an adventurer. I've heard a couple stories from what do you call him, Uncle Lance? But,
Yeah.
nothing except in passing.
Well, I mean, I told you guys before about the rat catching and the escort quests and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of just what I've been doing.
True.
How not NPCs, how the clients.
They're slow.
No, when
and
Nubia
then,
calls other people.
and then if you try and run, but you try and walk, they're too fast and they go, oh, they just are such a nuisance.
Sometimes they glitch and just.
The weave does mysterious things sometimes. You can just walk into a ley line and then someone else just like glitches. Is that what you call it? They glitch up onto a cliff, but you can't get them back down?
I've heard it explained as a mini shunting.
You know,
Shunted into the floor, into a room.
we've actually researched a little bit of this with our magical theory. We've learned that if you turn away and you whistle in the appropriate way, it could actually bring them back to a different location when you're
True,
still
but
in the ley
they
line
might appear
area.
on the roof nearby.
Things could happen, which means you just gotta keep kind of adjusting yourself a little bit, and you repeat the process until it lands in the proper place.
This
I've
is
heard
all
about horses
canon,
landing on the
Mike.
roof.
Somewhere it is.
That was not my training, but good to know going forward. These are all things that we should keep in mind.
Have you joined up with any guilds?
No.
Like the Blades or something like that, or stayed solo?
I just kind of go where there's jobs.
That's fair.
Yeah, money's money. If it pays, I'm gonna take it. If it's not something that's like too crazy, like I'm not gonna go out there and like be fighting crazy monsters by myself. But small stuff. Because I still like to be back at the orphanage to help when I can. I don't want to be gone too long. This is actually going to be the longest I'm going to be away from it. Now that I think about it.
How is the orphanage doing, by the way, in general? I know you mentioned that it seemed to have gotten bigger since everything had been happening.
Well, shuntings keep happening. Like, I don't understand how or why this happens, and a lot of them end up in the gutter. So whenever there's a kid that comes along, we kind of just have like a crew that just walks the streets every so often looking to see if we can find anyone that's been shunted without a home. We take them in, but now the kids are like sharing 2-3 to a room. So things have definitely escalated in terms of how many people are there, how many mouths to feed, and because we have to feed those mouths, the money doesn't go to things like repairing the roof that leaks and stuff like that. But that's why I'm adventuring.
Well,
Should
I ever end up that way? Can't guarantee it. But I do still have that little ability of mine to do some small repair stuff, and I'd be more than happy to do what I can when I show up.
It was amazing what you did that day. Let me tell you, I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Thank you. Necessity is what taught it to me, if you remember. Gotta make sure my parents don't know when I, ruined the clothes that they told me had to be pristine.
Have you, like, expanded on that at this school? Like, do you have, like, extreme mending now? Or, like...
Extreme mending.
Not quite yet. It's considered simple. I don't know if anything is actually simple when it comes to magic.
It is
if
not.
it was, then everybody would be throwing it around. But, I have learned a couple of other interesting things. Mostly things to keep myself alive. Because, I enjoy it.
What about you, Osric?
I have
said
learned
something
some
about-
slight mending for people, though.
Oh.
Mending for people.
Yeah,
That could be helpful.
could be. Anyways, I apologize. Zinni was asking about you, Osric.
Oh, I was just going to say, you said something about Uncle Lance.
Oh, I mean, I have been working with him for the past little while.
Is that where you went off to?
For the most part. I've also been keeping in touch with Aerie. Do you all remember him, the awkward little man at the bookstore?
That kid that was older than us?
Yes, the one who lost the cat. He's doing good as well. Still as awkward as ever, but I spend my time usually between Lance's office and the bookstore. I've been helping Lance with Artifacts and things like that. I kind of picked up an acumen for it, and he's been so kind to sponsor some teaching, some learning, and sent me off on a couple different trips as well. And I've helped him as much as I could. So it's been fun, kind of reminding me of my grandparents back in my old place.
Artifacts? That doesn't seem like Uncle Lance.
Hey, he's interested in a great many things. And one of them, actually, he let me keep, and he'll pull out a small little, calcified egg. This was in a box he had on his desk. I was apparently the first one to be able to open it. So he let me keep this as a souvenir. And I've kept it as, I guess, a good luck charm ever since. So, but he's a very interesting man. There's many layers.
Except we know who the favorite is. Because I got this, and she points to her like elaborate armor, and then you get like a rock egg.
That's very true.
It's really, really pretty, by the way.
It does suit you.
Virginia.
The fanciest thing I've ever owned.
Nothing against Osric in this scenario, but I don't think you'd wear it as well.
Absolutely not. Armor is not my style.
Osric,
tattoos are.
And just a reminder too, Ari has upgraded from his kind of young teenage job of cleaning the place of Dr. Hamsel's to becoming an artifact restorer with him.
Nice. Yeah, so I imagine Osric would have probably worked with him on a couple of the artifacts as well and just been like, hey, let's work together on this.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Lance typically will bring him items, and you two will uncover their history with Dr. Hamsel, and then Ari is more like restoring it and cleaning it up and getting it ready. Though you haven't really dealt much with Dr. Hamsel, maybe on one or two occasions, but he's a very private person.
Fair enough. So that's what I've been up to. It's honestly probably pretty boring for the most part. I've just been cooped up, but I do find enjoyment out of it. Between that and reading articles on the materia crystals and all that sort of thing, it's how I get by. How about yourself, Nubia? We know you're here on a pilgrimage, but how's life back home?
Okay. I mean, just lots of studying and training and kind of it, day in and day out.
Any fun?
I'm not allowed to talk about particular details with training, but would you say, Arthur?
Any potential fun adventures that have happened since we last saw you?
No.
I bet
Not
your
particularly.
wardrobe's doubled.
My wardrobe?
Yeah,
Oh.
you always have such nice clothes, nice things to wear, and
Oh, thank you. This is considered just cheaper travel wear that I have on right now, so.
you got that tattoo. That must have been fun.
Fabulous.
Oh, yes. That's with my friend. Yeah, I mean, that was good. I guess that was an adventure. That was a good memory.
What led to that too?
Huh?
What led to the tattoo? You said it was an adventure.
You know, I think I need some more wine before we go into more talk.
Easy enough to
If you don't want to,
and then I say,
don't have to.
Spectrum Manus. As I wave my hand to pour some wine for Nubia in front of her. As a mage hand appears and pours the wine.
It seems like there's a waiter that is about to step forward and he goes, and kind of stands back a little bit, like, okay, well, now I gotta do my job. Kind of goes on to another table.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Well, the tattoo was led because Me and my then boyfriend decided to get them. So when I was like 22, 23, quite a few years ago. So
That's cool.
yeah, he has one too. I mean, I don't think you'll ever see him, but he still has his as well.
Matching bestie tattoos. That's a genius idea.
I thought you didn't like tattoos.
Not on you.
Oh.
I think they look great on. Do they have... Obviously mine's in like a special script. Is yours also in that? Or is it a different kind of vein, or is it just a design?
Mine is more so a little bit of an amalgamation of designs that I remembered from my grandparents' stories. So they honestly could mean anything. I might have chicken soup written across my chest, but who's to say? It looks very interesting, and it has meaning to me.
Well, it's very good for the soul, I hear.
It says swordfish on it. That's why you crave it all the time.
It was
Pelican.
all leading up to this, yeah.
I hate it.
It knew. It just knew.
I hate it here.
I think it's good, and it's a good contrast against your skin tone as well.
I mean, it needed something. I was very monochromatic, as Emerson would say. Yeah, he's saying this jokingly.
Osric totally understands me now.
He'll get you to dye your hair in no time.
Oh, I like my hair the way it is.
Well, see, Osric grew up, though, where he was unique with what he had, whereas I grew up with everybody was white-haired.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also the only one that grew up with horns, but a tail. Yeah. I mean, at least here.
I do tend to stand out a little.
I mean, you're 6'4". Of course you do. I don't even have to look in a crowd. You just stand above it. I will never lose
stand
you.
up and out.
I feel like I need to tie a balloon to you just so I can find you.
Rude. I have pink hair. You can find me easily.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Her coloring stands out enough, I think.
As long as we're not walking amongst sakura trees or something.
True.
You'll have to find a very easily.
There's like 1,000 Eladrins on this ship.
There's one. Oh, no, that one was redacted.
Yeah,
there's one.
Oh my gosh, a comet crashes through and kills
That
Zinnia.
one's clearly a drow.
Keeps eating.
Oh, this is fun. When everyone laughs, she's just like settles in and she's just like, this is fun. I miss this.
It is really nice being... I mean, even though we only had the one day together, and it ended horribly, I add, but the day itself was very fun, and I held on to those memories. My sister and my brother were very, and my friends there too, they were all very, very interested in you three, and, well, I mean, they kind of knew ours already, but they were really fascinated. And I'm not much of a drawer, so when I did try to, draw them out, I didn't. I'm sorry, I did the best that a 13-year-old could do, but they didn't believe me about your hair, Zinnia.
I mean, you kind of gotta see it.
It is very unique.
Yeah.
I mean, we only run the gambit of blondes to black hair, so it's,
Where I'm
boring
from.
palette.
Never mind, I don't remember a thing.
I was going to say, did you
In
have
the
you ever
orphanage.
remembered anything?
Sorry? No, I still don't remember a single thing. Hasn't impacted me yet.
It is weird having those blank spaces in one's mind, is it not?
Yes. Yes. Nothing before the age of... Actually, I don't know how old I am either, but Helinia said that maybe I was 8, so we just go based on that. So nothing before I was 8-ish.
She's actually like 300 years old.
Good enough for me. You're about the same age as all of us. How about that?
I mean, I think I am. I feel I am.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get back problems.
That's too real.
I mean, we're all approaching 30. It's inevitable.
I'm wondering though, is that more because of the fact that you run an armor constantly, or?
I think it's because I carry the weight of a lot of stuff on my shoulders.
Oh.
Just
Overly
kidding.
stressed.
Yeah, it's probably the armor.
Yeah,
Just love the intricacies on it.
She was joking or not? Like,
I'm not.
oh boy.
Do you want an insight check?
Kinda do. Alright, I only got a 10.
Oh, I rolled a 12, so.
Well,
You rolled above a
okay.
10.
Baby.
Wait, what is this for? An insight?
He's
Yeah, see if
excited.
she's lying or not. Like the burdens of the world.
I will
Unbelievable.
say it's definitely close enough to like you know something's off, but
Yeah.
You know
it's
how
not
much I did
enough.
her in the orphanage.
yeah, but it's not enough to know like exactly what she's talking about. So it's like
For sure.
like you're just not quite able to pick up on what she's laying down. You definitely pick up on that moment of vulnerability and then like slip back. You know, she's like, "Oh, take it back." So like that's what you pick up on.
Just kidding.
Yeah. But you're like, well, that's Zinnia too. She always does that.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how much you think he would follow up on that later, or kind of just let it slide away.
He'll file it in the back of his head.
It was a 16 with my modifiers.
Oh,
Oh,
never
just so
mind.
you know.
That's
Yeah.
different.
Scratch all that, Megan.
She's hard to read.
Yay, Megan!
She does this all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
It also
I
helps
make
that, like,
jokes.
that's that
I'm
little
funny.
brother thing too, where you're like, yeah, she always says that. And like sometimes
I'm
you just don't pick up on
carrying
it.
you around all day.
Just willful ignorance at this point.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I think it's great that you're helping out.
I can imagine if we had animations where it's like, ooh, 12, 10, and then all of a sudden you say like, 16.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh boy.
I'm glad everybody survived too. I think that was probably one of the more scary elements, was not being able to come back. And I am sorry. If I had a means to come back, Zinnia, to meet you in front of that bookstore like we had all talked about, I would have.
Don't worry. Honestly, if you weren't dead, which I'm glad you aren't, I thought you probably like got married, had kids, like settled down, had positions of power. Don't worry about it.
Well, the positions of power one is true.
There you go.
Getting married and having kids is definitely true.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
That didn't happen at all.
I was gonna say, what are their names? Do you have pictures? Like,
Also, don't be so flirty if you're married.
It's just how I am.
It's fair.
that might get you in trouble one day.
I'll be wise with it when I get to that point. But right now I'm not there. I was joking. I'll make that clear.
I know. I got it.
But I wasn't joking about having 30 kids.
There's
I have
all
a lot
them.
of houses for you.
This
No,
is
no,
Gerald.
no. I'm not my father. I do not have that going on.
It's all the wallet photos.
Yeah. It's an accordion.
The worst joke. I just thought of the worst joke.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave them? I'm out on a mission to
Here's-
find milk.
Here's a,
And then returns
since
to
we're talking about having lots of children, here's a fun fact about me. I'm the 13th son of my father.
Wow.
That's so many siblings.
How many in
Lot.
total?
I don't even know.
More than that?
Well,
You don't know.
Was the school just your family?
I'm like the only son of my mother. My father has. My mother was a concubine.
Hmm.
So, I don't exactly know because, my father's like, ooh, I'm important and I gotta do my job.
Are you like noble? Are you like Nubia?
No, I am not a noble like Nubia.
Oh.
Not noble, technically.
I've got.
I mean, you act it.
I could say that my father is noble, and so as part of that, I am expected to know and understand a certain level of decorum. But I, by no means, am in the line of secession or anything of that nature.
Mm. Yeah, you'd have to like 12 of your siblings would have to go. And sorry.
Well, even
That
then,
was rude of
they
me.
might even skip over it.
True.
Not the most lucky of numbers, if you know my.
Number 13.
Exactly.
I think it's pretty lucky.
I don't have the most talking relationship with my father.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No, my grandfather, much more than I know my father.
Your grandfather was very sweet.
He was very sweet.
Is he still around?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Was that older gentleman that came with you that day?
That was. Very.
He was pretty sweet on my teacher at the time.
Maybe that's where I get my desire to be sweet.
From your grandfather?
Perhaps.
Does your grandfather have like 26 kids as well?
Maybe he did it one time. I'm not quite positive. I have to ask him about that.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has my father at the moment.
I didn't even think about that part.
Big fat family gathering. A lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. It is a lot of mouths to feed. I don't quite understand the logistics of that when I sit and think about it. But I try not to think about it too much.
But see,
Not your
Zinnia,
concern.
you were asking
Exactly.
about how it was like to have a family when we were kids. Honestly, I really don't think it's that much different than being at the orphanage. You still have to... Same worries, same mouths to feed. You know, you're all kind of there. I don't know what anyone's doing. Imagine.
Yeah.
There's the different set of rules, though.
True, because you were not allowed to have any possessions, which that has changed, I've noticed. So
Once you go to school, maybe it's kind of like you right now on your pilgrimage. You can do whatever you want when you're away from your family.
that is true. I came from 3, and I'm not nobility in that sort of sense. I mean, my position as a high priestess now elevates me to that importance. But there's a few bloodlines that kind of take turns with this sort of responsibility, if that makes sense. It's not that I go home and treated like a princess. I mean, my parents are just temple workers. So it's not like they're necessarily the heads of their departments. But
Well, it seems like you guys have all been pretty successful.
yeah,
In a small way, I suppose.
in various ways. But it's nice to just get out.
Here to that. I'll like raise my water.
Yeah,
Let's do-
cheers.
The fancy accoutrements inside
I
of
fill
it.
up a little bit of
The
wine with my
cucumber
mage
and the
hand, and I
strawberry.
pass cups to everybody.
Perfect.
I swirl the wine like I've seen people do it, and then
Like
I
you said,
do
here.
You see the waiter really quickly just kind of like do the like four little prestidigitations. You just see little bubbles, just enough rise up in the wine and be like, oh. It like seems to calm down and be like, okay, it's breathed enough for them to drink it. Like a magical, oh, they don't know what they do.
No. That's so funny.
Love it.
If I notice that, I'll look over at the waiter and give him a wink of gratitude.
What time is it now?
It is starting to get pretty late. You notice the tiefling is kind of pushing forward his chips and kind of slowly looking like he's about to cash in. The not Eladrin ASMR looks like she's just finishing up her food and kind of just sitting there waiting. They seem to be waiting for someone in particular. So they look like they're not moving, but a lot of the other families have kind of gotten up, and every once in a while you see like 1 or 2 people like grab something and then like head off, like they're grabbing food and then heading back to the room or something like that. But it does feel like it's getting to that point where the day people are starting to head to bed, and night people are just like, they're probably getting up about this time, getting ready for the night. Which, again, I started thinking about that when I have day and nights here. Night is like the in-between of the crystal, so it's more like a twilight, whereas like it's almost like a sunrise at this point. So you can almost see the oranges kind of creeping in from the far window. So you know it's getting pretty late for you guys. It's always something I got to keep in mind with my visuals.
Oh, well,
How's everyone feeling?
Very
Very
good,
cool.
actually.
A little tipsy.
Do you need,
that too.
well, do you need help escorted back to your rooms?
That'll be fine.
We're all in
Wait.
the same.
Where are you staying? Osric and I are in a room. Nubia's got her own fancy room. Where are you staying?
I just have a regular room.
Oh, okay. Do you want to bunk in our room? It's real fancy. We got like the special treatment room.
Honestly, there would probably be room in mine.
Or I could switch with you. I don't mind. You could like bunk
I mean,
with
Zinnia
Osric.
can also stay with me if you want.
I wouldn't
take
put
her.
you out. I would just take the small room.
You can use. I have multiple rooms attached to the one that I have. So
the whole wing of this
Yeah.
cruise ship.
You do know
Airship.
there is 2 empty rooms that were meant for your guards. So
oh, actually, if you wanted, you can also stay in wherever you're at as well. I'm just offering it.
Are you saying do you want a couple guards to be available for you?
No,
I can
but
protect
you can
her.
have one of their rooms.
I'll stay with her. You boys bunk together.
Sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Anyways, we're up here.
Also, by the way, before we go, I saw you eyeing that chap over there with the cards. Were you wanting to play a round or two with him?
I wouldn't mind, actually. I could use probably a little bit more spending money anyways.
Alright, well.
Don't
I think
go
we can
betting
wait
your
for a
shot at.
moment,
Oh,
and then-
wait.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that to bet anymore right now, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm aware.
It'll all turn out fine. Just for a few days, apparently.
Then you don't know what's coming.
We'll find out.
You stress me out. You stress me out.
Some things never change. And Osric will walk over to the tiefling.
Sure. Are the other 3 heading back to your rooms, or are you kind of waiting here for him? What's the plan on that?
I think waiting for
I'm
him.
just gonna wait for him to play a couple matches and then
You're just kind of like sitting there sipping your drinks and doing small
sipping,
talk.
having idle chit chat.
Yeah.
Feel free to interject at any point. if any of
Watermelon,
you guys-
watermelon, watermelon.
If we want to jump back to, focus on any more questions that come up during that time. So just let me know. But yeah, you have little sips and kind of like that coffee after meal sort of like, feel. But yeah, Osric, we're able to get up. As we do, I need everyone to give me a D20 roll, please.
No.
Yeah.
14. I'm improving.
What'd you get, Zinnia?
Unless this is something bad. 14.
14.
Question for you, since we're doing nighttime sleeps and wake up checks. Zinnia and Arsan, I believe, both only have 4-hour sleep cycles.
We're not doing wake up checks yet.
Oh, that's not what this is for.
Nope.
Okay, I apologize.
It's a good guess, but
I got a
you guys haven't gone to sleep
17.
yet.
Just sleep at this
17
table.
for Osric, and I just realized Anubia and Arsan. Okay. I have to give
You're
you a
just doing
second letter.
flat rolls, yeah?
Yeah, just flat rolls. Arsan.
15.
And then Osric, you said 17?
Yep.
Now you guys roll well. Anubia?
7.
7. All right, sounds good.
Oh, that's not promoting.
Osric, as you head up towards our boy, give me a perception check.
11.
11. As you're kind of looking, you do notice a set of daggers sitting on his belt, and a bit of a pouch that does seem to be a little not as full as it might have been earlier in the night, of a gold pouch. So it doesn't look like he's been doing the best, but he does seem to be like starting to like push some coins in as you kind of head over. And he kind of looks up. He goes, "Oh, my friend, fellow tiefling. Pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Good day, sir. How are you?
Well, to be fair, you are catching me on a little bit of a downwind, but are you looking to play some cards?
Of course, and in all honesty, nothing against you. Kind of hope that continues.
Very fair, very fair. Zephyr, go ahead and sit down, of course. Your name?
Nice to meet you. I am Osric.
Osric. Of course, I am from the Exandrian coast. It's been a little bit since I've met a fellow tiefling. Where do you reign from?
A place very far away. I wish I was here, but I grew up in the less nice place.
Not so welcome to our kind there.
Nowhere tends to be, but you know what? Honestly, better than a lot of other places.
I mean, to be fair, for some people, here is better than home.
That's very true.
Luckily, where I'm from, we're widely accepted for the most part, but, you know.
That would have been nice, but we can't all be so lucky.
Well, here you're your own man.
Exactly.
So what do you do?
We just would love to play some cards.
Sure. Or like wave up, and they're like, go ahead and roll me back in for 100 gold. How's that? The buy-ins are only 5 gold each currently.
Okay, good. Holy crap.
You just see him like just telling the attendant to be like, "Oh, go ahead and give me chips for 100," as she was like starting to get gold. And for you, sir, kind of like wondering how much gold you want to put into chips.
I'll just start with 15.
15, of course, yes. Kind of hands switches that over. You see, she's kind of just holding the gold, kind of like just over there to kind of cash back out. She knows it's probably not going to be the longest of nights either. All right, the game is Avandra's favor. You'll get you each get 2 die, and it's a very simple game. Basically, if you roll, you roll once, you'll be able to look at it to keep the other one secret. You make bets. If you add up to a 7 or 12 after the second one, player wins. Otherwise, house wins. You can double the bet to add a d6 to the total at the end. Bit of a blackjack against the house version.
All right.
So you're not...
Wait, the only way I can win is rolling a 7 or a 12.
The total of a 7 or a 12.
Okay.
Between 2 6s, yep. So it's kind of like it's more of a blackjack where you're not really playing the player, you're more against playing the house for this one.
All right. Well, let's lose some money.
It's always fun to see one's luck in life, I mean, sometimes you have to make your own luck. I myself, I'm a procurer of many exotic items for various wizarding schools, high-enders in Arcana, and, well, I took this opportunity to go to Sina Una and get some exotic things to bring back.
It sounds somewhat similar to myself. I'm going there to explore some of the ruins and see what I can find.
My friend, so are you stuck with an institution or more of a mercenary work?
Independent work for the most part. I contract occasionally, but that's about it.
He kind of like flips up from the back of his hand a bit of a business card. Well then, why don't you keep me in touch then? If you'll find any ruins, I'd be more than happy to assist or benefact you as well. These things aren't easy.
Very true. I appreciate the the contact information. Yes, if I find something, I will absolutely let you know.
What's your passive perception on this? I think it's 9, right?
17.
17, okay. Give me an Arcana check as you're, like, grabbing it.
Okie dokie. 16.
16, it's high enough to just faintly feel the prickle of some sort of magic that's embedded in this card. You're not quite sure what, but just enough to realize it's not inert right now, but there's just enough to pick up something is magical about the card.
All right. Osric will take it and just right in the coat pocket there. Perfect. Thank you again.
Of course. I mean, what better than to network on this grand ride that we're on?
That is definitely a benefit for sure.
Well, I'm going to put 25 in. How's this? And he drops down 25 in and just kind of slides it down. Let's have some fun.
Bro. I'll put in 5.
Early start. I get it. A few days. Go ahead and roll 1d6. Do not tell me what it is. He kind of like looks at his and then kind of looks back. You know, we could also have a little side bet to see what you'd wager if you're going to win or not. How about 5 gold between you and me? I win, you lose. Which gives you the favor that any other status, you win, I lose, or we both win, or we both lose, you win.
I'm going to say we both lose.
Both lose, all right. And then anything else, we just keep our gold.
Of course.
Fair enough. I like it. You see, like, the excitement of, like, these side bets is really kind of more what he likes to do and entail. Perfect. All right. So with that, he looks pretty confident. Give me a perception check.
Sure. He looks pretty confident for the 1 die he rolled, and it's pure random chance from here. Yeah, I rolled a nat 20, so 22.
Nat 20. You see him roll a second one, and then just kind of tap it just slightly with the edge of his finger to roll it to a 6.
All right. That's fine. I'm going to roll my second die.
Okay. If you wish to try and cheat on any of the die, you may roll a sleight of hand against his perception.
Honestly, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Looks like Avandra's favor sides with me today, my friend. 7.
I am happy to hear it. Well, for your sake, not so much for mine.
Well, can't have his luck.
I have rolled snake eyes at 2.
Oh, all right. Well, you can double down if you wish to add another dice to try and get to 7.
To double down with my 0 money afterward.
We'll go ahead and leave our bets separate. How's that?
Sure.
Or you can stay.
I will. It's worth a try, anyways. I'll double my 5 to a 10 gold for the house.
Right. She passes you a third die. It's got a good golden one now versus red.
Wait, I needed a 7?
So 7 or 12?
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. I rolled 2 2s, and then I couldn't do math, and I rolled a 5. Actually, I need a 4. I need a 4.
Both of you win. And he just kind of, he looks a little grimaced, like, very well done. Well, it seems we both take our 5 gold back.
Do so,
and 1. Very good. Very well done.
I will add 10 gold to my inventory.
Seems like Avandra's favor is on your side. So, yep, you'll double it up. So, yeah, your 10 gold turns to 20 gold.
Very nice. All right, that was terrifying.
Well, do you wish to continue, or do you want to go one last large check of luck?
Bro, do you know how much money I have?
I'll put 100
20
in.
gold.
100. I hate to say it, it's a little bit too rich for my blood.
Whatever all
I will
in for
put
you
in-
would be. Come on. You could double your fortune.
You know what? I will put in 15 gold. And if I need to double it for the extra dice, then that gives me some flexibility.
Fair enough. I like it.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Go to roll 1 die.
All right.
You don't
Cool.
see him. He doesn't play around with anything on this one. All right, you ready to? Do you want to make a side bet on this one, or are you a little too nervous?
A little bit too nervous, honestly.
All right. Go to roll your second.
Oh my
Holy
god, Megan. 6 and a 1. I was like, oh my god, this is not going to be good.
He pushes his dice out. And you notice he didn't even try and mess with anything. A 3 and a 4 by him. And she goes, well, very well. Avandra's favors on both of your sides. As
Apparently.
you take 30 gold, and he gets 200 gold.
Holy.
You know what? I think I'm a bit of a luck charm. Well, those your friends over there.
Yes, they are.
He kind of looks back, eyeing all of you. You all seem quite capable and a little bit more down to earth than these buffoon blades that ride with us. How about this? If you find anything, tie me in, and he pushes 100 gold over to you. And that's just the start of where this friendship can come from.
I will gladly work with you. To be very honest, I am here on one other benefactor, so I do have to prioritize their work.
Everybody
But-
has many investors, of course.
If there is anything that I think you may find of interest, absolutely, I will let you know.
Perfect. I like anything exotic, anything magical, anything that's worth money.
Of course.
I'm just a broker.
Don't we
I
all?
don't need anything of myself.
All right. Well, I look forward to working with you.
Don't worry. You can find me whenever you want. Double tap that card and say my name. And you can send me a message.
Very handy. I like how you work.
Good night, Osric.
Good night, Zephyr.
I'm gonna stand up and like flips a coin to the to kind of the attendant who's like wrapping up. Thank you. And kind of she just looks at you a little bit.
He'll toss a gold coin as well. Whatever Zephyr did, he'll do the same.
Thank you, sir. It's kind of like
Thank you.
like a normal kind of like gratitude to the
Yeah, I
the
always
person.
forget about that at the casino.
Yep.
You don't go very often enough.
All right. Yeah, I'll head off, and you're free to come back to your group.
Yeah, Osric will come back. He hit it very well during the time, but just before Zephyr leaves, as they're kind of like walking away a little bit together, he's like, "Very nice move with the first round of dice as well. Very impressive."
Very perceptive. He kind of like whispers a little bit so the attendee doesn't hear. So you're kind of like taking a step away, like before, and kind of grabbed him. I like people that make their own luck. I don't rely on waiting for the strings of destiny to make their own.
I can appreciate that. I do find I am fairly lucky myself sometimes, though. So if I don't need to, I try not to push.
You come from the streets as well, don't you?
Yes.
One recognizes it. I'm a self-made man as well. Even more so. I look to work with you.
Perfect.
If you wish
Now
to
we'll
make-
head back to the group.
And any more games, just find me. I'm always down to gamble.
Of course. I'll keep that in mind.
I'll let off.
Never again.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
Osric, Gambler, right? Terrified.
And there does seem to be other tables in here as well. Like this is just kind of like a light little gambling area. There's also more of a regular casino that has other games and like other things you can set up. So yeah, you head back to the group.
He was an interesting man. We might have a little bit of help on that trip.
Help?
Yes, financially speaking, potentially. He's a collector of sorts, so depends on what we find. He's already paid us a little bit of an advance, I suppose, and Osric will divvy up the 100 gold that he was given, so you each have 25 more.
So very nice. Collector of goods or information? Both?
I think both. Whatever would be able to make him some extra money.
Whatever's the comings and goings. Good to know.
But after that...
Did you get a name for the man?
Oh, yes, of course. I actually got this card as well. His name is Zephyr.
Zephyr. Nice name.
Interesting name.
Very much so.
What color tiefling is he?
Good question.
He was more of a like reddish brown.
Wait, what'd you? Oh,
First I was
Zephyr.
gonna say black, and then I was like, wait, no, he didn't look just like us.
He had blue eyes, black teeth, like a very dark charcoal.
All of you roll me.
Twin Osric.
Dad, is that you?
All of you can roll me a history check.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a good history.
Oh, I'm doing so good this time.
Dirty 20.
15.
17.
10.
Nubia kind of sounds familiar, but you don't really recognize the name. But all of you did hear Zephyr during the festival as a name that was dropped.
Uh-huh.
Like the festival when we were kids, or the more... Oh, okay.
Thank you again for watching Fates Apart. If you liked this content, please consider liking, following, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. Every little bit helps. Hope you have a great week. See you next time.